Now let us talk about the first revolution, that is between 1910 to 1920, and is known as the Ford supply chain. In the first revolution of supply chain management, there was very little product variety. Besides that, the firms were integrated vertically and the market sensing was not properly done by the marketeers. The first major revolution was staged by the Ford Motor Company, where they had managed to build a tightly integrated chain. The Ford Motor Company owned every part of the chain and it tightly integrated the chain. Which means it could manage the journey from the iron ore mine to the finished automobile in 81 hours. So they had a highly efficient supply chain. But then it was not flexible at all. The famous saying goes like the Ford company or the Ford supply chain would offer any color as long as it was black, and any model as long as it was tea. Which means they could not provide different varieties of product. Though Ford innovated and managed to build a highly efficient, but then it was inflexible supply chain that could not handle wide product variety and was not sustainable in the long run. On the other hand, General Motors understood the demand of marketplace and in turn offered a wide variety of colors and size, and also the automobile models. Ford supply chain required a long time for setup changes and consequently it had to work with a very high inventory in the chain. Till the second supply chain revolution, all the automobile firms in Detroit were integrated firms, and even traditional firms in India like Hindustan Motors were highly integrated firms where The bulk of manufacturing was done in-house. Then came the second revolution in 1960 to 1970. Also was known as the Toyota supply chain. So let us discuss this also in detail. Towards the end of the first revolution, the manufacturing companies faced many changes, including a trend towards a wide product variety, so the deal with the change, the company needs to restructure its supply chain. To be flexible and efficient. And they need to deal with a wide variety of products. But then, in this case, they were doing it by holding not much of the inventory. The Toyota Motor Company successfully addressed all these concerns, thereby ushering in the second revolution. The Toyota Motor Company came up with the idea that allowed the final assembly and manufacturing of the key components to be done in-house. The bulk of the components was sourced from a large number of suppliers who were part of Kairetsu system. Now Kairetsu system refers to a set of companies with interlocking business relationship and shareholdings. The Toyota Motor Company had a long relationship with all the suppliers, and these suppliers were located very close to the Toyota assembly plants. So, what happened with this? With this, the setup time, which traditionally used to take couple of hours, were reduced to couple of minutes. And this combination of low setup times and long-term relationship with suppliers was the key feature that propelled the second revolution of supply chain. Which was a long journey from the rigid integrated Ford supply chain. The principles followed by the Toyota are more properly known as lean production system. The Toyota system involved tight linkages and did not get the problems in the later part of the century. And when gradually Toyota and other Japanese firms tied up to set up assembly plants in different countries, they realized that they have to take their suppliers also along with them. Also, they came to know that some of the suppliers in Karisto had become complacent and were no longer cost competitive. And with advent of electronic data interchange, which facilitated the electronic exchange of information between firms, it was possible for the Toyota to integrate with the suppliers without forcing them to locate their plants close to the manufacturer plant. And also in regular practice, Toyota's supply chain had certain rigidities, such as permanent relationships with the suppliers, which could become a liability over a period of time. Which was the reason that led to the third revolution, spearheaded by Dell Computers, which offered the customers the luxury of customization with loosely held supplier networks. Now let us talk about the third revolution, which existed between 1995 to 2000, the Dell supply chain, in detail. Now, in the second revolution, we have dealt with the advancement of information technology. So, with this, the Dell computers allowed customers to customize their computers. Dell allowed customers to configure their own PCs and track the same in their production and distribution system. Unlike the Toyota supply chain, Dell did not believe in long-run relationship with the suppliers. Instead, Dell believed in working with world-class suppliers who would maintain their technology and cost relationship in the respective fields. Dell maintained medium-term relationship with the suppliers, where the suppliers were always on the test. Because of the advances in IT, Dell could integrate the suppliers electronically, even if they were partners only for a medium term. At Dell, the trigger for suppliers' order was the actually order by the customers and not a forecast, which helped the Dell in reducing the inventory significantly and also allowing them to respond to any changes in the marketplace. Since their suppliers were electronically integrated, as they did not want rigid in the chain, Dell did not find any advantage in locating suppliers close to their assembly plants. With increased use of IT in supply chain management, it became possible to achieve operational integration even with those suppliers with whom the firm did not have a long-term relationship. And if we talk about the product variety front, firm progressed from a single product to a wide variety and from a wide variety to customization. And if we talk about the chain ownership front, firms have progressed from vertically integrated firm to long-term partnership with the chain partners and from long-term partnership to loosely held networks. Advances in IT fueled the third revolution, and the exact contours of the third revolution are still being defined. Still, it would take few years before the firms understand the model fully and apply it to all the industries.